No moral sense.
No lies.
Dirty scumball.
Everything they stand for, it makes me sick.
Spaghetti angel! I'm making a spaghetti angel! When Italian guys die, they turn into...
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
You ever think back to like stuff that happened to you many, many years ago that was kind of like, I don't know, like you always wondered, like, I wonder what would have happened to in that scenario. Like if, let's say you had a friend many years ago who was dating a guy that was bad for them, and then you're like, wow, did they ever get married? Did they break up?
Mm-hmm.
Did he kill her? Like, what happened in that relationship?
Did you kill him? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know. Because, life goes on. When you're young, you know a lot of people. So you know a lot of people who are doing a lot of things. And you can't keep up. Once you have a job, like once you leave college and you get a job and you start having a life, you can't really keep up with as many people like you used to, So you just kind of like think in your mind like, oh, well, this is what must have happened. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you know how like you need a conclusion. You can't, if you're watching a movie, you're not going to stop the movie in the last 10 minutes and be like, oh, well, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'll never find out. I'll never know.
Mm-hmm.
You want the conclusion. You want to know what's happening.
So do you look them up on Facebook or ask other friends? What do you do?
I never do that. I probably could do that. But first of all, I'm not into Facebook. And I don't know that anybody really tells their whole story on Facebook. I don't.
You can tell if they're still married, I think.
Well, maybe.
You can do some research.
I don't know. I don't really care that much, but I'm always kind of like, oh, I wonder what happened to, or I wonder what happened with that scenario. So when I was in college, there was this girl who was, how do I describe it? There was something wrong with her. Like, I wasn't sure whether she was like a sociopath or she was fucking weird is the nicest way to put it. She was fucking weird. Mm-hmm. So, but like I loved her on one side. So she was this girl who my roommate, who is still one of my closest friends, she's this girl who my roommate kind of brought into our little circle. And I just kind of felt like there was something about her that was a little off. Let's just to give her a name, let's call her Schmanthony.
Oh, okay. No, call her like Becky.
Okay, Becky. Becky with the good hair, which is good because she had great hair. So Becky with the good hair she was just weird. Like there was something about her that was just, whenever you said to her, like, where were you? You knew she was lying. Mm-hmm. Like she couldn't just say, oh, I went to go see my mom, or I was out with this guy, or I was shoplifting, whatever it is she was doing. She can never be honest. There was always something about her that you're like, this woman is constantly lying to you about everything.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a good time. Like she was really fun. She had this cute little car and she would take us out and we would all go out, the whole bunch of us, and we would always have a really good time. So
just don't talk
she was
to
like,
her. That's the problem. Just don't ask her any questions.
Right. Just go out with Becky with the good hair, have fun, party. Don't get too close to her. Just, let her drive you home, but don't ask her any questions.
Right.
But stuff would go missing. So she'd be at my house when I wasn't there and I'd come back and there'd be something missing. That kind of thing. So I would say to my roommate, I think Becky with the good hair stole this, DVD or stole your CD player or whatever the little CD Walkman were back then. That's what everybody had. But like shit like that would go missing.
She stole the whole CD player or just the CD?
No. Remember like so back in the day there was the Walkman and then it was a CD Walkman.
Right.
So it was a CD player, but it was portable and you could put your headphones on and go running.
Right. She stole that?
Yeah, so she stole one of those from us. She stole DVDs and CDs. She stole probably money, and there was always shit missing. And I knew it was like our hairbrush. It was a really good hairbrush that we had. It went missing.
Mm.
Remember she had Becky with the good hair. She had good hair, so I was like, that's how she has good hair. She has our hairbrush. So it was like shit like that was always missing, and I always suspected it was her because she was the only person in our group that was like, there was something about her, And one night I go home for the weekend, back up to New York. I went to University of Maryland, so I'm down in Maryland. I come back to New York, and while I'm gone, my roommate stayed there, and she and Becky with the good hair had like she said a weird night where she felt like Becky with the good hair was kind of hitting on her. But my roommate is straight. Yeah. So Becky with the good hair got her very drunk and they kind of kissed. And she said the only thing she remembers was Becky's hairspray. And she's like, I realized immediately, like, I'm not into women, but it was one of those things, college,
but was
whatever.
Becky into women?
We didn't know. We didn't know what was going on.
All right.
So my roommate starts dating this guy, and Becky comes to the house, and she's banging on the door at like 3 a.m. And my roommate did not want to open the door because why is she banging at 3 a.m? It was weird. And the guy that was in like her bed with her boyfriend or whatever, was like, I'm going to fucking kill her. No, leave her alone, leave her alone. Just ignore her. Let's just stay in bed. We're sleeping. It's 4 a.m. All of a sudden she hears like glass shattering. And she comes out, and Becky with the good hair not only like left her all these gifts and all this shit at the front door, but she smashed all of the windows to our apartment.
No way.
Yeah.
Now she knew it was Becky with the good hair.
Well, because she also left gifts.
Oh, why would a robber leave stuff?
Right, that's the whole thing. She probably felt guilty. She stole shit, and she's obviously in love with my roommate. So she brought her gifts, and then when she realized she was in there with a guy, she was drunk and got mad and started smashing our windows. So I come back from my weekend, and I see our windows are completely smashed and taped up. I'm like, what the hell happened here? She's like, yeah, I kept trying to call you. I didn't want to fuck up your weekend, but, she tells me this story. I was like, you got to call the police. This is a mess. So we call the police. They get Becky with the good hair. They get her to admit to it. She pays for the windows so our landlord doesn't charge us, And we go on with our lives, and we just kind of like cut Becky with the good hair out of our lives, and that's the end of that. Cut to, I get a call about 2 hours ago. One of my best friends in college was also friends with Becky with the good hair. And she calls and she says to me, we messaged a little bit on Facebook, or, she texts me, whatever. I was like, let's get on the phone. So we get on the phone. We're catching up on shit. She's like, by the way, Becky with the good hair, I'm still friends with her. I'm like, you're kidding me. She's a psychopath.
She should be in jail by now.
Yeah. I was like, she should be in jail by now. She says, well, when she got back in touch with me, I said to her, you need to admit that you stole all this stuff from me. I was like, she stole stuff from you also? She was like, yeah. And she starts going down a list of all the stuff she stole from her.
Mm-hmm. Hairbrush, CD player,
right,
grandma
all, like,
ring,
same
all that
type of stuff. Yeah. So Becky with the good hair admits to stealing all this stuff from our mutual friend. She's like, all right, well, you've admitted it. And remember I said to you there was something about her that I thought was just off?
Mm-hmm.
This is it, and it makes me really sad. So she's finally out. She's a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, she wasn't comfortable with her sexuality, and she had a lot of anger issues as a result, which makes me sad because our generation is kind of weird. Like most of the people in our generation that we grew up with, if you're gay, you just be gay. But there are those small pockets of people. I mean, she was from like a small town in Maryland, There were just these small pockets of people that just were not comfortable with their sexuality. And she said, instead of just being out and being who I was, she had a lot of anger over it and took it out on, all of us.
And she was kind of wacky.
She was kind of wacky. Like, that had nothing to do with her.
You can't hide that. You can't hide that she would, okay, she was gay, she was hiding it, but she was still wacky insane.
Well, but what's interesting is when she finally came out, this is according to my friend I spoke to today, when she finally came out and she was like being her authentic self, she said all that other stuff went away. It was like she was finally her. And it makes me sad because we would have accepted her. We were not people that were, listen, in fact, most of our friends were gay men and they would come over the house. Like we just didn't know a lot of gay women, but we were LGBTQ plus. Please bring it on. We got rainbow flags everywhere. 2 girls from New York who are in Maryland, please. You know that we're totally down. But, it's an example of how the first person you come out to is yourself. So she wasn't comfortable coming out to herself. So, of course, she wasn't going to come out to us, right? Because she wasn't comfortable with it. So my girlfriend today told me, like, now she's happy. She has a girlfriend. they've been together for a lot of years. She has like a real job and stuff. And she's doing really well. So I was really happy to hear this. But I honestly, based on, I didn't know about the lesbian thing, obviously, but based on everything else that I knew about her, I was like, she's in jail by now. And when she told me that she's friends with her, I was like, does she write to you from prison?
Does she call you collect?
She stole a car one night. We were all out. We were just partying. Of course
she did. And lied about it.
She told us, she shows up with this BMW. She shows up with this BMW. We're like, where'd you get that from? She's like, some guy that she knew, whatever, Kevin lent it to me. We're like, all right, cool. She's like, yeah, we're going to be cruising tonight in style. So, we drove into D.C. in this BMW. We had a great time. Come to find out the next day, she went into Kevin's room, took the keys.
Oh, yeah.
Stole his car.
She
didn't to go for a joyride, just to impress us for the night.
She didn't do all this stuff because she was hiding that she was gay. She's a little wacky.
Yeah.
And a klepto and a liar and breaking windows is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, but according to my friend today, she said she's calmed down a lot. I'm like, of course she's calmed down. She's 50.
Yeah, it's like a puppy. The puppy will calm down eventually.
Right.
Because they just get old and tired.
Right. So I thought it was interesting because I always wondered kind of what happened to her.
Madness and paranoia.
This isn't just the bottom of the barrel. You've gone under the barrel and dug a hole to Japan.
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
Scenario for you. Since it's Black Friday and all the sales are going on and all that. So let's say you have a friend and this friend has a son.
Okay.
I'm not going to say who. And I'm not going to say, it could be a daughter. It doesn't have to be a son. But let's say this son lives by himself.
Okay.
And your friend didn't have financially the greatest 2022.
Which is like everybody, yeah.
Yeah, everybody, not a very good year financially in this friend's household. So this friend asked his son what he would like for Christmas.
The son that owns his own house. Okay.
The son that owns his own house that makes more than your friend. And okay. So he just says, just off the cuff, what would you like for Christmas? Thinking he will say, just give me a gift certificate, just a coffee maker, just something cheap. No, he wants a 75-inch Sony $2,000 TV.
Yeah, he should buy one for himself then.
From his parents.
No, that's not. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, this is so stupid. This is the problem with the holidays because it becomes about money and what you're buying for me. I have two problems. One, the assumption that parents make more money than their kids. It's certainly not true for a lot of my friends, not just the one friend we might be talking about. But also the idea that like, you're going to fucking bankrupt somebody and they have to go into debt to buy you a gift for Christmas. It's just, it feels, it's so wrong and so not what the holiday is about. And your answer, see, the thing is, not your answer, but my friend's answer.
My friend's answer, yeah.
That's when my friend needs to step in and be a fucking parent and say, no, I'm not buying you a $2,000 television set.
Yeah, because the friend's kid shouldn't think Santa Claus is going to bring that now. Once you got your own house, then Santa can come to your house. He doesn't come to my house and drop off presents for you till you can come and get it. I just don't understand the gall of a kid who knows their parents' financial situation and asking for something that expensive. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. And that you know what? That's a failing on the parents, not the kid. So the parents are bad parents. I will tell them that.
You should tell the parents that the fact that they have a kid that has the balls to ask for a $2,000 gift.
Sony 75-inch TV that, I think the parent would like to have.
Tell our friend, the parent, to say, no fucking way. That's not what I'm getting.
Let me write this down. No fucking Wait, okay, so that's what they should. So Christmas morning, when the friend's kid comes over and he has a coffee maker for said kid, he should just say no fucking way.
Coffee maker, that's very generous. I was going to say socks.
Underwear.
You're getting socks. You're getting underwear.
I mean, the coffee maker is, $40. I think the parent can afford that.
Right. That's what Santa's getting you. You're getting a coffee maker. When I said, what do you want for Christmas? I meant under $100.
Right. No, usually the kid says, just give me a mouse pad, something, That's
Something little.
what the friend was thinking. The friend wasn't thinking 75-inch Sony plasma.
But I think that's an opportunity to have a talk with the kid and say, what makes you think that we're going to spend more than our mortgage on a gift for you?
Okay, writing that down too. More than our mortgage, since you have your own mortgage now.
Yeah.
Right. And you have the first dime you ever made as a kid because you don't spend any money, but the parents, they have unlimited funds. That money tree that I planted in the backyard is just, they planted in the backyard.
They planted in the backyard. Wait, because they don't know who this friend is. It's some anonymous friend. Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know him. You don't know the kid either, but they seem very spoiled to me.
Yeah, that's beyond spoiled. The fact that a kid would ask for that and not laugh about it. Put it this way. When my parents asked me what I want for my birthday, which is
2 days from now.
Which is tomorrow.
Right.
And Christmas coming up, I said, can I go shopping in your jewelry box?
Yeah, but knowing your mom, she has jewelry that is way, way expensive. So,
but she shouldn't fucking wear anything. I said
you're
to
going
her,
to get it now or get it in 10 years.
Right.
Don't you want I should have it now?
I wouldn't have the balls to ask my parents for anything more than a $50 gift.
Right. Yeah, that's what that friend was thinking. But that friend was dumbfounded when they found out. And I said, I will talk to you about it because you know things.
Because I'll laugh my ass off. No, you're not. Tell our friend that they are not spending $2,000 on a fucking television set.
No, they didn't have the best year financially. Financially, it's been a rough year.
Even if you had a great year, $2,000 on a television set is fucking bananas. Unless you are a billionaire, that is bananas.
See, the friend that we have is in radio, so you know what kind of year they had.
Yeah,
and they work with this girl who. She doesn't give them any jobs or anything, so they don't make any money.
Well, I see a girl like this, and I just think I want to score with her, but now I want to just settle down with her, and get married, and have a couple kids.
Okay, Beavis.
Maybe I could score with her after she's really full,
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
So today, I get the next issue of Time Out New York that I never read. Again, never read it. Mm-hmm. But I remembered the naked issue from months ago, and they have a follow-up.
More naked people?
Well, here's what they did. It was such a very big popular issue that people requested certain people. And they had hundreds of applicants, and they voted for winners. Okay? So out of
winners for what? The best naked person?
Yeah, best naked person. Who you want to see naked more? Who you want to see more naked pictures of?
Okay.
Who is it that you dug so much? And there was 100 people to choose from. It wasn't like it was just 3 people. It's I picked that one. There was hundreds of submissions. They narrowed it down to the top 50, and they chose the winner, the number one guy. And I open up the magazine, and it's somebody I know.
Really?
It's a cousin of a very good friend of mine.
Oh, not somebody you dated and already have seen naked.
No,
okay.
No, absolutely not. I've never seen him naked, and frankly did not want to see him naked.
Do you want to see him naked now?
Well, I didn't have a choice because I opened up the magazine and there's this guy I know. It's my friend's cousin, and there he is naked.
But is the Hoochieberg there too?
No, well that's the thing. He was very smart. He had an inner tube around the Hoochieberg.
An inner tube?
Yeah, he was like in a kiddie pool.
How do you do that?
you step into the I don't know, he's thin, so he pulled it up over his hoochie berg. But you do see he's got a tattoo and whatever, yeah, so you see it. And the funny part is, now my friend and his cousin have the same name. They had brothers who both wanted to name their kids after a relative, and they fought about it, and both of them were stubborn, so they both named the kid the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend's name is the same as his naked cousin. So all day long, my friend works for a very big news channel. A very conservative news channel, let's put it that way. Not the place you want to work when somebody with your same name is posing naked. So all day long today, he's been getting emails, and people have been giving him, guff about it. So, of course, I had to also. But, just the fact that, you just imagine opening a magazine and seeing somebody there. I didn't want to know that much about him.
So seeing him naked, with the hoochie berg on, that didn't turn you on at all?
Oh, no, the opposite. No, women, see, that's the thing about women. That, Playgirl magazine is not for women. It's for gay men. I can't imagine women wanting to look at pictures of men just sitting there like that.
I don't believe that at all.
No, I'm telling you.
You're telling me no women buy Playgirl?
I'm sure some women do, but nobody I know. That's not, women like to see men, women think men are sexy if they're dressed, if they're half dressed, maybe just with a shirt off. I do not want to see you naked. I really don't. I'm not excited about that. I don't like that I've seen my friend naked now. Really bothers me.
He wasn't naked, though.
Yeah, well.
He was covered up. I'm thinking naked is this naked. I'm thinking naked as the guy at the gym walking around putting lotion on naked.
Yeah, that's not interesting.
Not an inner tube. That's a bathing suit. You see that at the beach.
Yeah.
That's not naked.
It's TMI in a way. If it was see, and the weird thing was the other pictures of the naked people, the strangers, I didn't care. Stranger, I don't know you. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's an interesting tattoo, or boy, that's an interesting choice of piercing.
So no women want to see a naked man.
I don't think women do. No women I know. I mean, my girlfriends, I've been to 2 bachelorette parties where they had strippers, and the women were not that interested.
This is big news. This is breaking news to all mankind.
Yeah, we don't want to see you naked.
At all.
We don't want to see
me. You don't want to see me naked. I understand that.
True. That's not, women don't look at that and go, ooh, wow, yum.
Really? So if I had a magazine right here that had Johnny Depp and what's that other guy you like? George Clooney and Johnny Depp naked in it, you don't want to see it?
I do not want to see them naked. Nope. I don't want to see their hoochie bergs. No.
Really?
No. Wow. Nope.
This is breaking news. Chad, run down the hall and tell the news station to cover this. Because this is huge news to me.
The thing is, the only time we want to see a guy naked is when we're, when it's...
when you can do something about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't want to see a photograph of George Clooney naked. Unless he is in my room and I can have access to him, I don't want to just see a picture of him naked. I'm not interested.
See, guys think if they put a trench coat on and nothing underneath, they can go and flash you and you will like that.
No.
You don't like that.
We don't like it. We don't like it.
I don't believe this.
It's how we roll.
I'm not going to believe this.
It's how we roll.
No.
Is it Elise?
Yes, it is, Elise.
Oh, hi, Elise. How are you?
Good. I've had the same best friend for 23 years, and he buys the magazine, and he'll make me look at the magazine with him before he purchases it.
Now, he buys it. You don't buy it. He buys it.
Correct. He buys it.
Right, because men are more visual. Straight men like to see naked women. Gay men like to see naked men.
Right. That is true, and I think that you're right. It's just too much of a tease. I don't know other way to put it, except for it's too much of a tease.
Yeah, and when you look at those pictures, you're like, hey, I want to meet him. No, right?
No. I'm just like, wow, okay.
So you don't want to see it either?
No, I don't want to see it either. I would just rather, I think it's too intimate. I would rather it's very intimate that I would want to see.
So what's sexy to you? If a guy wants to come across sexy, what would be a sexy look for a guy?
I like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, shirtless, long hair, tan, but with shorts or jeans on.
Right, with shorts or jeans on, yeah.
Yeah, that's sexy.
I'm so confused now.
It just leaves more to the imagination.
Exactly. That's it. We want to use our imagination.
So
in that
when
situation.
we jump out of the shower and do this dance right here, you don't like that?
No, I do not want to see that dance out of the shower. Well, Sean Lee can do it because, he's my husband. But even him, it's like, stop, put that away. Hey, Anna.
Hey.
So what's your take on naked?
Oh, gosh. I think the male anatomy is so hilarious. That
Hilarious!
Oh, man.
Male strippers, I crack up anytime. It's just funny. And that dance, Anthony and Chad, that dance, I know that dance. My ex did that dance.
Yeah, you know the dance they were just doing. Yeah.
This dance right here.
Yeah, stop doing that dance. I don't even want to.
Oh, my God.
I can't even watch you do that
He
dance.
looks like he's
clothed.
having a seizure.
Yes.
By no means is it sexy.
No, it's not. And the way he does it, even unsexier, because the body doesn't move. Both the top and the bottom don't move at the same time.
I mean, look at her. She's got elbow cleavage. You know that little wrinkle that fat people get on their elbows? It looks like a schwa. I mean, you wouldn't have sex with her, would you?
Oh, yeah, I would.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I would do everything to her. I don't care what she looks like. I would wreck that chick.
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
If you are a fan of the Pandas, I have some bad news for you.
Okay.
Ling Ling and Sing Sing are not doing their thing.
They're not?
They're not.
Why?
Those
That's
aren't
their
even their
only
names.
job.
That's their only job. Well, I can't. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Chuang, Chad. How would you say that?
Chung?
Chung?
Yeah.
Chung the panda
Okay.
is just, he's had too much ring ding. Chung had too much ring ding.
He had too much bamboo?
Too much bamboo. He is too heavy to have sex. Okay? They're trying to mate him with another panda. He's just too fat.
I'm almost there.
It's true. But I was thinking that what a great excuse to get out of having sex.
I'm just too fat.
I'm too fat. I would love to have sex with you, Sean Lee, but I'm putting on weight. Women have definitely we've used that excuse.
Have you really?
Oh, sure.
That you feel fat or you think you're fat?
Well, no, that we feel fat. So we don't want you all over us and touching us and we feel fat.
So what excuse do you give?
There's no excuse. I'm too fat. I am too fat for sex.
You say that?
I have
and
said.
You're like, no,
I'm like, no, don't
I feel
touch
fat.
me. I'm not in the mood. I'm bloated. I had too much chocolate.
That's your excuse.
Go away.
Chung the panda.
I feel like Chung the panda. That's my new excuse. Yeah, I mean, we come up with really good excuses to not have sex if we don't want to have sex. Do you want to have sex with a woman who doesn't want to have sex with you regardless of her excuse?
Not answering that question.
Come on.
Because
what?
like I said, come up with a better excuse. That's what I would say.
Okay, I want to 877-6-Cooper. What are excuses that are acceptable for not having sex?
Yeah,
you let me know.
Give me the headache thing. The tired thing. I can deal with that. But not that I feel fat.
If I say I have a headache, you know I'm lying. If I say I feel fat, I'm telling you the truth. Ben, you don't want to. If I've got a big tummy hanging out, you don't want to touch a woman that. You're not into that.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's much about the way you look. Sometimes for some people.
Really?
Yeah. For instance, for me, I hear that every now and then, and I just wonder, I can understand how she would feel that way, but as for me, to me, it doesn't matter as much. So, is there anything that I would be able to say, possibly to make her change her mind?
I think saying it doesn't matter to me. I know you don't feel sexy right now, but to me, you're incredibly sexy.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's what I figured, that there might be nothing at all to say, because, I've learned, just sometimes it's better just to respect the way she feels, as opposed to, just, I guess, the way I feel.
But can a guy talk you back into it, Cooper, by saying that?
I think, that's the thing. I think I've said to Sean, I feel so bloated and fat, I ate too much. And I think he just goes, okay, I don't want to have sex with you if you're not in the mood, of course. But I think if he said, I don't care, I think you look hot, and he sort of turned it on a little more, yeah, it might work. Now, Jackie.
Yes.
Now, what do you say about all this?
I say if I don't want it and my husband keeps bugging me, I just tell him no. If he keeps on my neck, I'll smack the crap out of him.
I love it. No means no.
Well, no is no. That's it.
But that's the
so
thing.
So you don't come up with an excuse. You just say no.
No, I don't have to give an excuse. If they don't want to clean the house, they don't have to give you an excuse.
Oh, no, not at my house.
They don't want to do dishes. They don't have to give an excuse.
Oh, yeah, I need an excuse.
Oh, no.
Oh, so now that's good.
That's how I reciprocate. You say no, I say no. No problem.
You need an excuse.
Yeah.
You're ugly. How's that?
That's an excuse. That's fine.
I can't have sex with you. Why? You're too ugly for me. I'm sorry. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Cooper. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. We love you for calling. Thank you.
Me and my wife are a little bit older, and I guess I kind of hit the bell ringer one night, and she had given me the excuse, the kids kept her up or whatever, and that sort of thing. And I said, well, hon, maybe we could just negotiate another type of sex.
Right.
Well, that went over like a poop in a diving helmet.
That's a great analogy.
But anyway, I just had to tell you about that. I thought that was pretty funny myself. She didn't get the
joke.
Humor in that.
Yeah.
But
Now, John.
Yeah.
Has your wife said to you the same thing I've said to Sean Lee, where I go, I feel too fat?
Absolutely.
And what do you say back?
Well, the problem is my wife is about 5'4". She looks like Penelope Cruz and weighs 105 pounds.
Ooh.
So when she says that she feels fat, it makes me feel like Ping Pong the panda or whoever. I have to say, I have never called a radio show in my life, but I listen to you guys every night on the road. And,
John, thank you. Thank you so much. That's great. Thank you.
My first time calling any radio show, but when I heard this, I had to call in. This happened to me about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was right around Christmas time. I'd taken some time off, and I'm thinking, hey, this is going to work out good. And then she looks at me and says, well, I'm feeling fat. And I'm looking at myself, and I'm thinking, and I'm not in bad shape. I'm not a huge guy, but I'm probably 6'2", 200 pounds. I'm in pretty good shape. But she runs 5 miles a day.
Right.
So she's tight-bodied, good-looking, and I'm thinking, man, now you guys have nailed it. Next time she says that, I'm going to tell her that I feel like Ping Pong the panda.
A journey back in time.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Boy, that takes me back.
But the thing is, I thought about not telling you about this dinner because I thought if I told you, there's no way you're going to think this really happened. It was too bizarre a night that I just know that if I tell you the story, you're going to be like, that didn't happen to you. But it did. And I'm going to tell you, whether you believe me or not, I'm just going to put it out there.
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't do things on the weekends. And the reason is because I'm busy writing books and doing this and doing that and, preparing, sitting around waiting for Monday to happen again. But you talked me into going out. And I did. Went out with a bunch of people. It was actually Sean Lee's birthday on Wednesday. So we went out Saturday night for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And
What'd you get him for his birthday?
Lots of stuff.
Like what?
Clothes. Lots of good clothes that he needed, sweaters, stuff for the winter, and all that kind of stuff.
Nothing he would like a PSP game. You got him clothes.
I got him a PSP game. I got him a PSP for Christmas, and it's glued to his hand. So I thought, you know what? Let me at least make sure he's dressed.
Okay.
While he's walking around with the PSP.
She gets the same thing for Sean Lee as she gets her 12-year-old nephew.
That's really
There's
true.
some socks and underwear.
And a PSP game.
Right. We're waiting for PlayStation 3 to come out.
Oh, that's $600.
Oh, is it that much?
$600.
Oh, yeah, I don't love him that much.
Yeah, you better sell a few more copies of Been There, Done That, Kept the Jewelry.
No, I do love him that much. I just need to, yeah, you're right. So people go out and buy Been There, Done That, Kept the Jewelry, just so I could buy my husband a PlayStation 3. Otherwise, he'll leave me.
Next book, Been There, Done
Your
That,
husband
Kept the
that's like
PlayStation
35
3.
years old. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's actually just turned 36. He's an old man now. So we're out to dinner, and we have this couple. There was 3 couples total, okay? And one of the couples is always there early, never late. And we all get there, and this couple that's always early is late. And we're like, that's unusual. But so we're sitting and we're waiting a long time, and we're calling on the cell phone, and there's no answer. And we're like, what happened to them? Are they even alive? So we're sitting and waiting. And while you're waiting, it's rude to order before people get there. So you just sort of sit and ask for more bread. And
Not
and
my
have,
family.
And have drinks. Oh, they just start ordering and start eating?
Yeah.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have to.
He'll be here in 5 minutes. Let him
Right.
catch up. We're hungry now.
Yeah, no, not us. This was fine because Sean Lee had a couple of drinks. Our other friends had a couple of drinks. So people are having a couple of drinks. And the basket of bread comes, and the first thing that happens is this. Thank you very much. The first thing that happens is this. The gentleman sitting to the left of me goes and grabs a piece of bread. And as he's talking, he's trying to cut the bread, which is obviously very, very hard. And I don't know how this happened. The bread went flying off of his plate with the knife into the head of the woman behind me.
Oh.
And she was like, what the? And like sort of turned around. And I felt so terrible because I feel like I was distracting him. I was distracting him talking, and that's probably why he was like spacing on his bread and it went flying. And
did the bread hit her in the head or did the knife hit her in the head?
The bread hit her in the head.
Okay, but the knife was still attached to it?
The knife flew onto the floor. The bread hit her in the head. And mostly because I kind of like ducked aside because I saw the bread come. You see something in your peripheral vision. So it hit her behind me. So I go to turn around to apologize. And I swear this happened. I go to turn around to apologize and sort of like pushed my seat back a little. Just as I turn around, the waiter is coming with a tray.
Oh, no.
And on the tray are a bunch of glasses full of all kinds of drinks, which go flying on her.
Oh, so first she gets smacked with the bread.
First she gets smacked with bread in the back of the head. Then she gets a tray of drinks dumped all over her because I was turning around quickly to apologize for the bread that I felt on some level was my fault.
Wow.
She was actually really cool about it because we were all like, oh my God, I'm sorry. We were like throwing our napkins at her. We're like, I'm sorry, like trying to dry her up. And like, and I'm like, I'll buy your drinks. I'll buy your dinner. And the restaurant is like, the waiter's like, no, we will. And I'm like, no, we will. And she's like, no, it's cool. It's okay. She was upset and whatever.
Was she soaked?
She was soaked. I gotta say, she had a great sense of humor because anyone else would have been like, you little.
That would hit you with a chair.
Oh my God, I'm surprised she didn't get up and deck me. I was all planning for her. She was a little older.
But did she know that it was you that hit the waiter to knock him over, or did she think it was just the waiter being clumsy?
No. She knew it was me because at that point, it all happened really quickly. It was like a hit and run accident kind of thing where the bread hit her in the head, so she turned around to see where the bread came from. And when she realized it was us, I was like really quick to turn around to apologize. And as I was turning around and kicking my chair back, the waiter, it was just perfect timing, happened to be walking by. When like your chairs are kind of back to back and it's just enough room for the waiter to get by, but if you move the chair the littlest bit, the waiter's going to be caught unaware.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much the position we were in. It was, the timing was ridiculous. Like I couldn't have planned this. If I was shooting a movie and wanted this scene to be in it, I could not have coordinated this better.
It would have been a 10-take shot.
It would have been a 10-take shot. I'd been like, no, the chair and the waiter need to come at the same time as the lady's turning around. It's exactly what happened. And she was, every single drink just flew on her.
Just her, not anybody else at her table, just her?
Well, the way they were sitting at their table, it was a table for 4, but there were 3 of them. And the other chair that got drenched, there was not a person in.
Oh.
So really, she was lucky her. Lucky her, got hit in the head with bread and then dumped about 4 drinks on her.
Now, was it like wine and stuff that would like stain her clothes, or was it like water?
Luckily, there was a couple of alcoholic drinks, but nothing. I think one of them was like a vodka drink, and then just nothing, sodas, that kind of thing, a water, like a big water, nothing, luckily nothing that would stain. But she was absolutely drenched. I felt awful. I could not believe it. I was so mortified.
So at that point, do you want to get up away from the table and just move tables to get away from this lady? Or do you have to sit there all night long and eat behind her?
Keep apologizing every 5 minutes.
I didn't need to. She moved. She said to the waiter, could you please get us another table?
This woman's a menace.
Away from this woman here.
Away from this woman. Because I didn't even hit her with the bread. My friend did.
But she didn't know that.
No, she didn't know that, but
You're a menace.
He was so busy laughing, I turned around to apologize just because I figured one of us should apologize, and he's busy giggling and cackling and thinking what he did was hilarious, that I turned around to apologize at the wrong time. Had I not been polite, had I not tried to apologize, she would have been dry. But she actually, once she got all cleaned up and everybody offered to buy their meal and their drinks and their dessert and like come back again, like you don't understand. Like I was like willing to, I even gave her my card. I said, give me the dry cleaning bill if there's a problem. If anything I was so freaked out. So I'm sitting there and Sean leans over and goes, I think they're leaving. So I turn around and I see, no, they're not leaving. They're just moving tables. And the waiter comes over and I said, did she move because of us? And he said, yes, she did. She did. She asked, she said, do you have another table? I'd rather not sit next to these people.
Wow, these people.
These people.
All of a sudden, you're these people.
I know, we became these people. There was a candle on the table. I thought next thing I'm doing is setting her dress on fire, so she really should move.
Reminds me of the Blues Brothers. You ever seen that movie when they go to the fancy restaurant? And they lean back, and there's a whole table of people, fancy people behind them. How much for the little girls?
Yes. That's exactly what it was like. And it was the kind of thing where I thought, I'm not going to come in and tell you because you're not going to believe me. But you know what an absolute dork I am.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that I'm just as clumsy can be. So I figured maybe I will tell you the story, and it won't shock you.
Yeah, wherever
That
Cooper
didn't shock
goes,
me at all.
drama follows.
Didn't shock me at all.
No.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And what was so funny is when the other couple finally showed up, we were so busy, we were like so mortified. They were like, what do we miss? And we're like, you're never going to believe it. You see that lady all the way down there and they actually took turns walking by her table to go to the bathroom, which was like not the way to the bathroom, but they purposely walked that way because they wanted to see how wet she was. They wanted to see if she was completely drenched
Was
still.
Mary there with you?
Of course.
Oh, I can
Of course. I don't go anywhere without my Mary.
Was he the one that threw the bread at the...
No, it wasn't him.
Different one?
It was a different, it was a different Mary.
Oh, okay.
Just so long as all the Marys get it done at some point.
Right.
But yeah, so what have you dumped on yourself at dinner? Hey, James, how are you?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. A little humiliated, but other than that, just fine.
I know exactly how you feel. I was telling Chad I was at a baseball game a year ago or so, and, first inning, coming back with a big old tray of sodas and hot dogs and whatever, and had my little son walking with me because he wanted to go with me, and hit the step and hit it with the back of my heel or something, tripped and dumped everything in a guy's lap.
Oh, no. Was it a really big guy?
No, I mean, it wasn't like huge or anything. He was, he was bigger than me because I'm not a very big guy, but I was like, oh my God! I mean, I didn't even realize at first, because I was so embarrassed that I cut my shin on the concrete step, and I was also, I was bleeding.
Oh my goodness!
Paying attention to that, I was paying attention to the fact that, he's got this immediate, I want so bad to beat you up. But yeah, and I was like, man, I'll buy you, a drink or whatever. What can I do? He's like, just leave.
just leave.
And I said, all right. And I picked up everything, and he had ketchup and mustard and soda and everything all over him. I was like,
oh man,
no.
Yeah, and I even went back to the concession stand and got them to give me a little wash rag or whatever, and went back, and he refused it. He was like, just
go away from me.
Get out of my face, man.
Just leisurely, and he was only like, 5 seats away from me. So
oh no! You had to look at him the whole time.
This is in the first inning, so I'm just like, oh.
And Cooper, there are 9 innings in the game.
I was going to ask, what do you have, 15 more to go?
It was
okay,
about, so he had to sit there for about 2.5 hours with the guy 5 seats away. Yeah.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. And I like the fact that the guy didn't want to beat you up because you were already bleeding.
I don't know. I found out about 5 minutes later. My wife was like, "Are you okay? You're bleeding." I was like, "Oh, I am. I'm sorry."
Oh, no. James, that's hilarious. So the woman did not want to beat me up.
That's a good thing.
I got very lucky because she would have had every right to just pummel me if she wanted to.
Well, you really don't know what to do in that situation. Do you beat them up? Do you take their money? You don't know what to do.
Now, Amy, if somebody was to dump, food on you, how would you respond?
Oh, I was so mad when they dumped food on me.
Where were you?
I was on an airplane. And I was a senior in high school going to visit a college all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And they dumped the tray of, it was a vegetarian meal because I'm a vegetarian, which on airplanes, not the best food anyway, but the vegetarian meal is particularly nasty.
Yes.
Comes all over me. I get to Seattle to connect, and they canceled my flight. And they left me stuck in the airport all night.
Covered in food.
Yes. Then I get to Spokane, where I'm going to visit the college, and they lost my bag.
Oh, no.
No clothes. I had to borrow sweatpants from a girl in the dorm who I was staying with and had to wear her sweatpants for 3 days.
I can't believe all this happened to you from one airline.
It was United.
Oh.
She had to give the name.
Yeah, she had to give it, of course. Please, we have to know. We have to be prepared. So if you fly United, just wear like a hefty bag over your clothes.
Wear your rain gear or
rain gear. Yeah. Right, a slicker of some kind. One of those Kiss the Cook aprons. Just anything, just to keep them.
Well, now you don't have to worry about it because they don't serve food on airlines anymore.
Yeah, that's true. They don't serve food on airlines anymore, at least.
If they drop a sandwich on you, you'll be all right.
Oh, Amy, that's awful. What's so funny is the fact that it wasn't just the food that got dumped on her. She had like an entire chain of events happen
Was there
afterwards.
like wine and stuff?
Was there wine on the flight?
No. That got dumped on the lady behind you.
No, not red wine or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we had this conversation.
Yeah, I know. I was just asking again.
Where were you?
That was like 10 minutes ago. I'm rehashing it.
Oh,
do you have that short-term memory problem that you don't remember anything that happened just a few minutes ago? Do we have to keep reminding you who we are and where you are and that kind of stuff?
Hey, look, Misty,
I think he's having side effects from that $1,000 product he has in his hair.
That's what it must be. Misty, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Now what did your grandmother do?
Oh, my gosh. She was a waitress in the 1950s in a restaurant, and I guess they had some kind of dessert or appetizer that you set on fire before you serve.
Mm-hmm.
So she carried it out to the table, and she set the food on fire and went to set it on the table and dropped it in the man's lap on fire.
No!
Yes.
She dropped an appetizer that was on fire.
Yes.
On somebody. What happened? Did the guy catch on fire?
She said she took the handkerchief and was trying to pat it out, and it was awful. And I said, well, did they fire you? And she said, no, I didn't give them time. Right afterwards, I turned around and said, I quit, and turned my apron in and left.
Yeah, once you set a guy on fire, you can't go back to that place again.
No more.
Yeah, no. Now, did you inherit her clumsiness, or are you pretty good?
Oh, my gosh, I am awful. I am amazingly clumsy, and I serve as a part-time job in a restaurant, and I have dropped, I don't know how many things on people, glasses of tea.
Oh, no.
I dropped a hamburger on a lady's lap and her with white pants on.
No.
Well, it's a family tradition. You have to keep doing it. It's a family tradition.
Absolutely.
You can't just wait tables. You've got to wait tables badly.
Absolutely. Laughter is the best medicine, and I do laugh daily.
Absolutely. You and I should definitely hang out together. It would just be like a mess coming through. Misty and Cooper, look out. Now, Pam, you spilled hot soup on somebody?
Oh, yeah. It was the first year I was married, and I was going to try banquet waitressing, which I was not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And my hat's off to those folks because you're carrying, the lead, crystal, salt and pepper shakers, and all silver and everything else on huge trays.
Mm-hmm.
And the door to the kitchen, you could see in, but you couldn't see out, so she could not see me, and I could see her.
Okay.
And I went in anyway, and she was coming out with a full tray of hot French onion soup, the hot cheese on top and everything.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, so it went down her arm, and and that was my last night there. I never went back.
Gee, I can't imagine why.
I was so embarrassed, but I checked on her, and she said she was okay, so at least I don't think she's scarred, but that soup,
At least she didn't scar.
I was so worried about her. But
I
anyway,
love that's your criteria. That's so funny. I did a good job waitressing. I didn't really scar anyone.
That's so true. That's so true.
But you
anyway,
tried. You tried. That's all that's important. You tried to waitress, and you tried to scar.
That's exactly. That's how I look at it. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you. Now, Chris, you would never do such a thing, right?
No. What are you talking about? Me?
Never.
No, I am like the portrait lesbian. How could you ever imagine?
Exactly. You're perfect.
Exactly.
However,
I
suspect,
when I was
yeah.
like 7 or like 8, we were in Outback, I think, and it was my birthday. And so, the old Heinz 57 ketchup bottles, somebody thought it would be really funny to leave the ketchup lid off. And I'm 7 years old. I don't think to check the lid. And so I start shaking it up.
Oh, no.
And I shook the lid, and the lid goes flying across the room. And so does the ketchup. And the ketchup goes all over me and all over everybody at the table. And then my cousins start laughing hysterically. And one of them, swings her arm over and hits 2 drinks, and they go in my lap too. So
Yeah, you and I definitely should hang out.
yeah, my birthday sucked. It was horrible.
Yeah, well, but you, me, and everybody who's called actually so far. We should all go out together.
Yes.
We should warn the restaurants ahead of time before we show up. You, me, and Misty.
If I was sitting at that table,
we could have our own, like, half the restaurant.
Yeah, we would.
Chad was sitting at that
I would have
table.
had a seizure.
Yeah, you would have had a
If ketchup would have touched me, I would have passed out right there.
Or what have you had dumped on
Or if
you
you
from
had
the
dumped
waiter?
on you at dinner from a waiter. I don't want to feel like I'm the only one in the world who did this to somebody. Please, somebody call and tell me that you've done this or had this done so I don't feel like a complete dork.